play. But yeah, you can secure 3 base, you have the gas to get up 5 factories, get your armories up, and you can start pumping at the mech, and you can hit a 180 supply max at about 16 minutes and move out across the map, while the time that they're essentially kind of in the middle of saturating what would be maybe their 4th base, maybe going on to a 5th base, but the 4th base is kind of saturated already, and you can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Some pretty nice bunker placement here by Dano. He's going to have this well and truly defended. However, should he try and go for an early third, I'm pretty sure that these rocks are going to make it easily snipeable by Integran. Integran is doing pretty much the same thing we were seeing last game. Double gas, going for a safe kind of roach and a mutalisk or something like that. I'm not too sure.
It could be kind of depending on how he opens. I haven't actually seen a lot of games with ToR Dano, so I don't know his playstyle as of yet, but he is looking to move into these fast Hellions after expansion build, and with the double gas tells me that after this factory's done, he's going to put in a Banshee. And if he continues, well, yeah, this kind of like what it looks like to be more aggressive 2-base style is to kind of counter the 2-base Hellion Banshee build while he's getting the 3rd. Excuse me. If he can hold off Hellion Banshee and he can be effective enough against it and not take too much damage and get a 3rd up of his own during this period, then we should see a pretty standard macro game go from here and see how well these players can handle.
Yeah, well that's the great thing about this map is that the tiny ramp for that main means that if you do decide to go 2-base, Hellion run-bys aren't the most effective thing in the world. You only need 2 queens to block that ramp up. However, I don't know if he's going to be able to get the queens there in time. We have Hellions on the way right now. Now it looks like they're deciding to chase down a scout Zergling, which has well and truly scattered the Hellions, which means they won't be coming in undetected. Negron should be able to deal with them without too much trouble. But you never know, man. Sometimes club Hellions can end up changing a game when nobody expects it. So.
Okay, well, this Hellion's going in here, going to check and see whether or not there's a 3rd down. Does not see a 3rd. Spy now going down also for Inti. So ToR Dano kind of getting a good read here, I would imagine, about what's happening. Zerglings up on the high ground will be kind of used to stop these Hellions from getting sneakily up into the natural. This Hellion's making its kind of way through, trying to get some scan information. Does confirm gases, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I definitely feel that ToR Dano knows what's coming and can will expect what's about to happen. But
yeah, which is of course mass mutalisk. Well, not mass, but like a fair bit of mutalisks with a lot of links. He might not even harass with this, man. There's a good chance he could just use it front up with the links to kind of just overpower and completely knock that wall. But this map is great for harass, so I don't see why you wouldn't. There's so many cliffs and open in and out ways to get at the mineral line. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, this Banshee move commanded over the Queen, which means it got down to about half health before it even got in. Overseer is already up in preparation, cleverly by Integram, meaning that cloak on the Banshee won't be any use either. Sorry, that cloak that he didn't research. Right.
Okay, so
one step ahead of me there.
He did cancel the cloak. He does have his armor, he does have an engineering bay, and he's adding on extra factories, so it does look like we'll be seeing mech out of him. First missile turret's now going down in preparation for these mutalisks, as 7 is on the way. So not overcommitting to mutalisks, kind of just building enough to kind of get in here, poke one-shot workers. 6 and 7, actually 7 is enough to one-shot workers. And yeah, Banshee doing a little bit of harassment here at the 3rd, but this mutalisk going to come over and clean it up relatively quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately cancelling that cloak is now going to become a detriment to that Banshee's health as it gets picked off by mutalisks there, where previously it might have even been able to force a cancel in that 3rd with another Banshee's assistance. It looks like we're going to see the Terran push with some kind of, Hellion Banshee or perhaps even mech push here. But yeah, these mutalisks are going to be so good for keeping that mech playstyle in a cage, trapped in there. However, yeah, Dano's defense is well and truly airtight right now. I don't think there's anywhere the mutalisks can really get in and
oh well, we're going to see some kind of it's not exactly an all-in, but it's not a very economic all-in. He's going to come in here and smash into.
Wall will fall. That wall will fall hard, and they're going field line for those Hellions. They don't get there in time. It looks like those doors will go down, and if those doors go down, that's really bad news for Dano. It frees up those mutalisks to do whatever they want. Indeed, they do fall a ton of Hellions off to try and defend against any Zerglings that come out, but I don't see any end here other than the turrets, man.
Yeah, Zerglings continue to strain in here, but the Hellions have a nice position. and his Mula is just going to sit above this mineral line, do some damage, chasing these tanks over towards his turret, but they will get fended off.
And a couple of siege tanks nice right now would be huge. And indeed, one does go down.
With the loss of how much, man, he's losing Mutalisk left, right, and center. These, wow, more Zerglings from the mineral line, but these Hellions are in perfect position to line them up and kill them very well.
Yeah, you're right, not nearly as effective as it could have been. However, the Banelings will try and run. No, unfortunately, they only get a single Hellion kill. I would say that definitely favoured Integrand for sure, man. He took out so much supply there and a ton of workers. The worker kill count is now at 21-0. Strong as hell lead. I mean, he didn't even get his third up. Dana was planning to go for that 3 expansion and then continue with that mech push, but now he's got to scramble and get a defense up ASAP because Integrand's probably going to be doing pedal to the metal. I don't imagine he'd want to sit back for too long and macro.
Yeah, well, Dano's kind of forced in a position where he's got to just sit here and try and secure his third base. His third base is actually very delayed, but he does have the third CC to rebuild the SCVs that he did lose with those Banelings and those Zerglings, and the Mutalisk is just kind of coming in and busting his door down. So that's amazing, but he's not going to have fast 3 base and the economy to sustain such a taxing army. He's trying to go mech. Admittedly, he can continue to produce up 3 factories as he hasn't added on any extras, which is good for him at the moment, but he doesn't have the ability to be aggressive.
Yeah, and he does have the upgrades going up right now as well, but man, being trapped in that second base, in that 2-base position right now is going to be so detrimental. He's pretty far behind in terms of income right now, about a 500 lead for Integrand at the moment, and I mean that's just going to further and further Integrand's lead as the game progresses.
Alright, so we do have Roach Speed coming up here, along with we just finished up with centrifugal hooks for the Banelings, so they are going to move around incredibly fast. He doesn't have the creep spread that I feel would be necessary in this kind of matchup. The only reason why he did that was because he skipped out in Queens and went for fast attack and was utilising his money to get a lot more Zerglings early enough and get his drone count up even higher. Likely to see him start adding on creep a little bit later after probably maybe moving towards more of his 4th base, but he's on lair tech and he's continuing to build units, so he's going to maybe stick on his lair tech a little bit longer, but he just wants to do as much damage as possible. Oh, his Mutalisk coming over.
Dano has some siege tanks in really good position here along this kind of extended arm. However, the Roaches managed to get up and do a little bit of damage. It looks like they will end up being cleaned up before they can get any SCV kills, unfortunately, for Integrand. However, a ton more Roaches running in here right now with a lot more Bayonets going off as well. They do manage to get a ToR down and eventually a couple of siege tanks. It looks like pretty much that entire Hellion ball is going down now as well as 2. Could we see a 3rd ToR go down, man? This would be very bad for Dano.
Oh, I think he's going to hold us for that clutch repair, so he does save 1 ToR. It's not really enough. He could remax some Mutalisk and do some damage, but it looks like he's going to be moving on the Infestation Pit as well as getting his Roach Warren, Roach Warren, and continuing to build Roaches. So yeah, we're going to see some delayed tech out here by Inti, but a lot more aggression as he is building down another evolution tower. He's getting more upgrades, level 2 attack, just about to finish here, as this huge Roachling army is pooling at the watchtower. It's fantastic.
That's it, man. Integrand now just is going to keep chipping away bit by bit, make sure his lead stays steady, and that his opponent isn't able to catch up too much. However, this turtle position that Dano's in, I mean, this map positioning with these cliffs really allows the turtle to kind of dig in the trenches here real tight. Looks like we're also going to see some command centers go up. He's going to be expanding like crazy to try and, I don't know, man, do something, but he's just not in the best position. I just can't really think right now what he could do to further his leads.
Oh, well, went ahead, continued to drone ahead, I suppose is the Zerg philosophy, is he's getting his 4th. Mortonari's get ventricle sacks and I don't know what the hell that word is, but he's getting Overlord speed, so it does look like he's going to be lifting up his entire Roach army and he's going to drop it on top of the mech army, and this is fantastic because look, we only have... I
was like, what is he talking about?
No, we only have 3 ToRs, and to save face, a turret here and there. He doesn't have any anti-air. He's going to bypass all the splash damage of all these siege tanks and drop directly on top of them, basically rendering them useless. And with Hellions going to be the only sort of form of DPS he's going to have, as all these tanks are going to kind of be splashing each other and doing, I suppose, more damage than good.
Man. there's no carapace on these overlords at all. Right, so if they're completely full 200, 200 and they fly in and they're stacked, 3 Thors with +2 attack may be all that the Terran needs.
Well, we're soon going to find out as the upgrade is 7 seconds away from finishing and the army is getting ready to move out. But it looks like ToR is going to try and take the aggressive thing and move out of the map. He's now got 4 Thors, 4 tanks and a bunch of Hellions with some SCVs here to repair, but okay, he's moving back, does realise what might be happening. He's building more Thors now, which is fantastic to see, as they will be a lot more useful when it comes to the time of this drop.
But the thing Integra needs to be careful about is how open his 4th will be to attack once he does do this drop.
Yes, this is a relatively large investment, but I think it's going to kill a huge chunk of his units. The best thing he can do right now, which is perfect for what he's doing, is he's spreading out his tanks. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, he's dropping it first. Oh my god, roaches falling from the skies, left, right, and centre.
Right now, man. I don't know if he's going to have the DPS to do it. As many Thors dying, as well as that siege tank splash really isn't helping. As extra DPS is done on those Thors, all of them will go down. I'm pretty sure the siege tank should be able to clean up these roaches, but the amount of gas that Integra is just managed to destroy is ridiculous.
Yeah,
looks like those overlords will get out of there relatively unharmed as well.
In terms of losses, he's actually not trading it as efficiently as he would like. In comparison to the game he had against Spook, he's actually a huge deficit.
We've missed a huge Hellion run by, we just went by the 4th, it's now currently in the 3rd. Took a lot of drones, which is the reason that the worker kill count is actually now favoring Dano over Integra, 30 to 23 currently. Huge difference now. Whether or not they're putting back in the game after the amount of Thors you just lost, I don't know. Wow, 18,000 to 13,000 on the units lost tab. However, the income is favouring Dano, something crazy.
Yeah, well, he did get to a point now where he was able to hold up a 4th base. It is a planetary, making it even more durable. And here we go.
Best move, man. If he drops right now, he could end up losing more than he... But yeah, he's deciding to pull back right there. Probably the best move. Looks like we're going to have a Hellion kind of run around the left, maybe get into that 4th and do some drone kills again. This is what I was talking about. This 4th is so undefended, man. All he needs is a couple of spines, or maybe a few roaches left here, and he'd be free to move around the map as he pleases.
Oh man, these Hellions are going to do a magnificent job on this this 4th here. Look, here they come. No defense. 3 roaches just popped and now moving out towards the center of the map. He does see, but it's too late.
Blue Flame might be able to get a lot of kills right now, man. This could be very big for Dano.
Good reaction times. He does get some nice splits, only using a couple of drones.
And he does a couple, man. I would call 8 a couple.
In comparison to how many he had there, it was risky, but he did really well. I'm just really surprised he's been able to hold this. His natural and his main are mined out, so it is 2 base versus 2 base versus 2 base right now. Actually, is the bases for Inti is getting relatively mined out.
It's 2 base versus 1 base, man, because Dano has. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. I'm looking at the wrong base. Well, actually, yeah, he's nearly about done. So, well, both players are, I suppose. It's pretty much 1 base for 1 base, man. However, they both are approaching max army supply, which means that after this next engage, it's going to be probably pretty obvious who the winner is going to be.
Yeah.
As one player will be allowed to expand and kind of sit back with a comfortable supply lead for a little while, and possibly even map control, while the other, yeah.
Well, Inti's got to do damage, he's got to do damage now. The mech army is getting incredibly... Oh wow, that's a lot of CCs that just dropped. Those mules, man, those mules.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so much mineral saved up that he just decided, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, start up all of this. We now have a massive push coming in here for the Terran. I'm skeptical, man. That's a big mech army. We don't have any T3 units out right now for the Zerg, let alone very strong upgrades or anything.
I will say this for a fact that Inti right now is at a disadvantage. Laying down a lot of pests to some damage.
Before the roaches even drop out of them, they're all dead. Oh man, a lot of those infestors die as well with the siege tanks. It's probably going to be GG for Integrain unless he can pull something out of his back pocket right now.
3-3 mech. Definitely wasn't going to do anything like that. He was, yeah. that was incredible, but he was stuck on lair tech for too long, wasn't doing enough damage with it, and ToR just kind of held in there, kept securing his bases, making sure